Candice, your runners at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth on Saturday the 16th of November. In race 1 you've got Summer Snow. Blinkers fitted and down and trip. How's he been working with the blinkers on?
He's been doing nicely with the blinkers on at home, Vicky. He had a little break. He was off for a while, and I brought him back at Durbanville over a 14. He just needed his run, that last run back. So he's come on quite nicely from the run. It's the kind of horse I'm not 100% sure distance-wise, because his brother the other day won over 2-4. So he's pretty much just staying. He gives you the impression that he might want it a little bit further, but he is quite speedy. So I'm going to give him another run up the straights. He's doing well at home. I think it's quite a competitive race. There's some decent form in that race, so I'm hoping for a decent run, but as I say, it's quite a tough race.
Race 2, the perfectly placed maiden plate, 1400 metres, number 3 Marine Merchant, Elder de May aboard. Good form. Does he have winning claims?
He's got a nice draw, Vicky. I had him in the ideal race the other day, and he didn't get to run, which was very disappointing. And I think he's in a much tougher race this time around. That horse of Dean's that ran second to Major Master, he looks like a really nice sort, and I think I may have my work cut out trying to beat him. And there's one or two others in there with some decent form. He's a nice horse, Vicky, and he's come on nicely. He's had 2 runs now, and he's progressed nicely. I'm obviously hopeful that he certainly will have a money chance, but might just have 1 or 2 there. They're just a bit too strong.
Race 4, WP Nomads, class 3 over the 1400 metres. Charlie Croker's number 3, Anthony is aboard. He gives himself a little bit too much to do. Could he pop up in the money?
Gives himself a little bit too much to do, Vicky, because he never has a draw. He's always drawn 14 or wider start. So for once in his life, he's actually got a draw. Probably play the opposite way around for him. But I freshened him up. He's nice and fresh at the moment. He's working well at home. He's got a good draw this time. It's a very open race. I think it's quite a competitive race. I mean, he's by no means a top division horse. He's just a handy little horse that earns every time he runs, and he never ever runs a bad race, despite the fact that he's always drawn badly. So I'm hoping for another honest run from him. It'll be interesting to see what he actually does from a decent draw this time. He doesn't like to be too handy. He likes to have a bit of a chance in the running, but he's fit and well, and as I say, he'll give a good account of himself.
Race 7, the Grade 3 Cape Mile, 1600 metres, number 7 Sugar Mountain. He's a lovable horse who constantly performs. Are you happy with his prep?
Same story with him, Vicky. He's such an honest horse. He never ever runs a bad race. He had a nice prep at Durbanville. He had a sprint back, and he ran a very decent race. Unfortunately, in between that and supposedly his last run, he ended up getting a spider bite on his front leg, and that just put me back with everything. So if you're asking if he has had ideal prep, not really, no, because he's been off for ages. I've managed to squeeze in a gallop in between here, so I'm a little bit in the dark as to how I think he's going to run on Saturday. He's always honest and never runs a bad race, but he might just need it simply because of being off for that amount of time, and I've had to just try and press everything in a little bit late.
Race 8, taking the reins, class 5 for the fillies and mares. You've got number 2 December Dawn, Anthony up. She built up to a nice win last time. How will she go?
Yeah, she did, Vicky. Well, I mean, they slapped her with like a 9-point penalty for winning a maiden handicap off bottom weight. She hadn't even run a place or anywhere near to a place prior to that, so I think that's a little bit harsh. In saying that, I managed to find a fairly nice race for her again, but obviously it's always a bit tricky with these kind of fillies to say how they'll run first run out the maidens after winning a maiden like that off bottom weight. So she's actually looking quite well, and her work has been quite nice at home. I expect her to run a fair race, but it's hard for me to assess her chances here.
Race 9, the CRS Summer Sale, class 4 for the fillies and mares. The 2 runners, Babylicious, Elder aboard. She looks to be maintaining her form well. Could we see her in the shake-up?
I think so, Vicky. She ran in a 14 last time. She needed a run. She got a bit tired. Well, she too was supposed to run the other day, but unfortunately didn't get to run. Again, a huge disappointment to everybody. I guess it is what it is, and things go like that. But it's as I say, disappointing for all and sundry and everybody involved with the filly. So yeah, she's a decent filly, Vicky. I've brought her back to gallop again now, so hopefully I've got her where I need her to be without having another run. But she's doing nicely, and she certainly will be competitive. It's not the easiest of races. There's a bit of form in that race as well, so she certainly will have an each way chance. Philosophize, she's got a big weight to carry and back over a sprint. She's had a small bit of time off since her last run. So giving her a sprint back, she probably will need it a bit, I would think, and will be ready, I think, her next start.
Race 10, Hollywood Bets Bright Future Maiden Plate fillies and mares. You've got the 2 runners. You've got Cainsey with Anthony Andrews aboard, first timer, and then number 19 Bright Gold with a bit of form, who she could possibly improve.
Cainsey's quite a nice filly, Vicky. She's a tall, light staying filly. She's going to want a lot of ground, so I don't expect to see much from her first time out over the sprint. She's going to be very green and it's going to be a bit quick for her, but she is a nice filly and I think this will bring her forward nicely. The other filly, she's basically run fifth every start she's had. So looking at the field again, perhaps, I'm hoping for a little bit of improvement, but I think she herself needs to improve a little bit more before she's ready to win.
Thank you, Candice. All the best.
Pleasure, thank you.